And I just want him home. I just want him home. He doesn't deserve to be in there.
21-year-old William Marcus Wilson has been in a Georgia jail since mid-June. He faces charges of felony murder and aggravated assault for the shooting death of a teenager. His family doesn't deny that he pulled the trigger, but his sister Chelsea Burnett says there's more the system should consider.
He was truly scared for his entire life.
She says her brother feared for his life when he opened fire on a truck of white teens the morning of June 14th. The car's driver was allegedly trying to run Wilson's car off the road, while others yelled racist slurs, according to his sister.
He had a right to stand his ground. He felt like his life was threatened, and I 100% believe that.
A gunshot killed 17-year-old Haley Hutchinson, a passenger in the truck. Burnett questions why her brother, who is biracial, is accused of murder despite his self-defense claims.
If he were white and his skin showed that he was fully white, he would not have ever been put in handcuffs.
It's a case drawing attention to the small town of Statesboro, Georgia, and bringing scrutiny from civil rights groups over who stand your ground laws protect.
We see tons of instances where stand your ground applies to the accused, and Mark Wilson's case does not appear to be one of them, and it appears to be based off of his race, and it's wrong.
Georgia is one of 27 states with stand your ground laws that approve the use of deadly force in self-defense. Another Georgia prosecutor initially concluded that the now high-profile death of Ahmaud Arbery was justified under that same theory of law.
The Ahmaud Arbery case is very much linked to this case, and not just by geography.
The color of my brother's skin has so much to do with why he is behind bars right now.
A redacted police report of the shooting says that the officers were responding to a call about a possible drive-by shooting close to 1 a.m. on June 14th. By then, Hutchinson had been taken to the hospital with a fatal gunshot wound. In a police press conference captured by WSAV, Haley's family begged the public for information.
Our state, our counties need this message right here more than anything. There can be mercy, there can be forgiveness, but justice, it has to be served.
Wilson's sister says he had already spoken to police by the time of that press conference. And according to his family,
thank you for pushing Taco Bell.
The shouting of racial slurs began after he left this Taco Bell drive-thru with his girlfriend, who was white.
When you have a car full of young white men in South Georgia calling your girlfriend an N-word lover, and trying to literally run you off the road and is hanging out of the car, shooting all kinds of words and explicatives, you can't really tell what's next.
At some point, Wilson fired his gun, killing Hutchinson. 3 days after the shooting on June 17th, he turned himself in.
He was worried about our mom more than anything, and I just told him, like, I got mama, like, I got her, and I just gave him a hug. I mean, there was no words to say. I didn't need him to explain or justify to me anything because I know who he is.
The president of the Georgia NAACP, Reverend James Woodall, is one of many claiming prosecutors are targeting the wrong people.
Ms. Hutchinson is a victim. She was murdered, but she wasn't murdered by Mr. Wilson. She was murdered by the gentlemen that were in the vehicle at the time of her death.
Wilson's sister sees it as a test of faith.
Society's ugliness truly showed its colors that night, and that's hard for people who grow up wanting to see the light in everything.
Court TV reached out to police in this case, also the prosecutors and defense attorneys. There's a gag order that was issued early on by the judge that stops those parties from being able to speak about this case. So they did decline to comment, and that includes the Hutchinson family, who said that they don't want to jeopardize the case, and that is the reason that they would not be interviewing or speaking about it at this time. But they have previously told reporters that they feel Hutchinson was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Benny?
What's the next step? Have we had the preliminary or probable cause hearing yet?
That is being held right now. We talked to the court today, and they say that still has not been scheduled because of COVID-19 concerns. It's something that's happening with a lot of cases across the country, and it is affecting this case. They have tried to put it on the calendar, but right now they are still waiting to set that date for the preliminary hearing.
And it seems the defense is taking this one step further. They're not just saying stand your ground. They're saying that the survivors in the other vehicle are the ones who should be charged with murder here?
They do. They say that this is like a felony murder situation. If those people in the car were creating this circumstance where their client, Mark Wilson, had to fire in self-defense, but they were attempting to murder him or create this reckless disregard of life situation, that because this was prompted, that they would then be guilty of a murder in this case because it arose out of a situation where they were the aggressors and they created the situation. So that's one hurdle, but the biggest hurdle that they have to overcome is to prove to either the judge in this initial hearing or a jury that he did in fact fear for his life and qualifies under stand your ground laws.
Absolutely. You know, stand your ground, get immunity, or whether or not it'll be self-defense. And I think the key factor is going to be whether or not the other vehicle, and there's evidence of them trying to run them off the road. That may be enough, but you're going to need that evidence. Julie Janae, thank you so much.